quickly. So there's a series of announcements that come from the US, and Ashley was kind enough to grab the bits and bytes from IAMCP Americas. Unfortunately, there are 12 slides, so I'm going to run through them kind of quickly just for the sake of time. So bear with me. Okay, very good. So Americas gives us a deck called Bits and Bytes. Typically, it's each month. Okay, if you're not a member of IAMCP, please consider joining. And this group of people is special. Some of us have been here for 10 years. Some of us have been here for longer than 10 years. And it's one of those things that you recognize the value over time. But the value is networking. So the events like this clearly are important. Also, there's education for Microsoft and also ways to talk with Microsoft to communicate issues. So that's one of the values of IAMCP. Earlier this year, I was challenged to think about the value of IAMCP, and I thought about it pretty carefully and thought to myself that yes, we as members are the value of IAMCP. So the things that we know, the knowledge bases that we bring, the ideas that we exchange with each other, chances to do business and refer business, that is really critical. And now that we have a chance to be back in person, I think it's even more important. So the value is clearly being here. So thank you all for being here. Lots of sponsors help us out. So IMC Americas has relationships with many of these folks. Some of them are large. For example, some of the folks that are disties. Well, first of all, there's Microsoft. There's also distributions, folks like Ingram Micro and so forth. The Redmond Partner Group is one that I came to know and love because they are doing a series on partnering as a practice, which is really good. The WIT Network. So if you there's a slide later on for the WIT Network. So Ashley is very active on the board of the WIT Network. Clip Training, New Horizons, AM International, Proactive. So Proactive has a very interesting service offering that's related to LinkedIn marketing. All right, very good. So if you have a chance, right, to scan this QR code, there are some things that you can get as members of IAMCP. So from that perspective, I think it's a worthwhile thing. And one of these things is that proactive BDA that I mentioned earlier. So there's a tool available free for IAMCP members, as I recall, and basically they help you with LinkedIn marketing. Okay, this is a value slide for IAMCP. This is a nice man named Craig Zimmerman. If you looked at him today, he is probably a bit older. So we think of this as his high school picture. But he's a very nice man, and basically he's on many of the IAMCP flyers for the value of IAMCP. There are lots of things going on in December. This meeting, for example, is one. There's some things that relate to partnering as success. So there are large groups of people across all the chapters, sometimes international. So sometimes those are very interesting discussions. There's an IAMCP Insights. If I'm not mistaken, Rob Fagan has a very good sense of how Microsoft operates and how partners can take advantage. There's a New York chapter that also has a meeting. And then this is something that I've been following very closely throughout the year. December 19th is the last Partnering as a Practice session. And Paul Solsky, who will be here for our workshop later on remotely, he has been driving this initiative very well. I've been curating his webinars and posting blog articles on the Redmond Partner Group website as summaries. Okay, very good. So the WIT Network, if Ashley were here, she could tell you a little bit more about the WIT Network. It's basically a women's organization, Women in Technology. There was a SoCal chapter. Ashley's active on the board. And basically, we've done a couple of events this year together between the WIT Network SoCal and IAMCP SoCal. There is a conference scheduled in March. And basically, this conference is kind of a joint effort between IAMCP and the WIT Network for Americas. And basically, it's going to be in March in Texas. And I think this is going to be a big thing. It's just lots and lots of planning and lots and lots of people. Okay, very good. There is a podcast to follow. If you have any of these podcast platforms, you can follow the podcast called the Partnership Podcast. There is an impact committee, diversity and inclusion. So this is a group of folks that are meeting across the Americas, thinking about diversity in the workplace, equity, tech equity for folks that are underprivileged, the things that are pretty important. This association called the Black Channel Partner Alliance is something that has been in operation for about 4 years, I think. Very much focused on the underprivileged, that tech equity concept. Okay, very good. The WIT network has lots of things scheduled, so some of these things are important, especially if you're for Lichka, for example, right? Women in technology. Okay, how am I doing? Time-wise?
2 minutes, you're doing great.
Good job, Brian.
Cool. All right, very good. Okay, so we are now into our spot that relates to our sponsor presenter. And I was hoping to see Ricardo here. Okay, very good. Terrific, thank you. Okay, so maybe sit for a moment and see if I could do you justice here, right? And is it Ricardo Ordonez? Ordonez, very good. Co-founder and president of Teams Plus. He's a dynamic team providing innovative communication solutions for managed service providers with over 20 years of experience spanning investment, banking, manufacturing, SaaS, IT, and telecommunications. Is there anything that's not there? Ricardo excels in strategic leadership and innovation. His career at Houlihan Lokey, honing skills in strategic planning, an active member in Young Presidents Organization, also known as YPO, former Entrepreneurs Organization or EO member. Ricardo is committed to enhancing the customer experience and workforce productivity through cutting-edge solutions tailored to the evolving telecommunications landscape. Ricardo, the floor is yours.
And as Ricardo comes up, we would like to present Teams Plus with their sponsor trophy from our 2024 15th anniversary celebration of the chapter through the golf course. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
He said you're gonna go through it. It'd be really helpful to get a sense for how many people here are reselling Teams as a phone system. Anybody already doing that? You are? Yeah.
Selling what?
Reselling the phone system, Microsoft Teams as a phone system. Yeah. Only 2. Is anybody not selling Teams as a phone system that wants to sell Teams as a phone system? No?
Everybody.
No? Yeah, everybody? Yeah. Okay, awesome. And are you buying Microsoft calling plans? Are you doing it through a partner?
Doing it through our distribution partner. Sure.
Okay, great. So we're going to talk about that mostly today. We're one of the first resellers and implementers of Microsoft Teams. I think we did our first implementation in 2019 as a phone system, so really early. COVID obviously accelerated what we do. Actually, Sydney's going to go through it. I'm going to go a couple of slides. This is Sydney. She works with me. She's our head of client operations, and go ahead.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having us here today. Here's a Teams Plus overview. So we are a Canadian and US service provider. We are a certified Microsoft Operator Connect partner. I'm sure you probably know what that means, but that essentially means that that we provide PSTN connectivity for Microsoft Teams. So we can enable Teams to be the entire phone system for an organization, both internal and external. We are a 5.9 preferred partner as well for the CCaaS side. And we're actually working directly with Microsoft on the new Dynamics 365 contact center as well. So that'll be part of our offering very soon. And as Rico said, we've been implementing Teams since before it was cool, Skype for Business before that, and 5.9 even before that in 2018. At this point, that should probably be updated. We're close to 300 Teams phone implementations at this point. Over 50 5.9 implementations. And we are very proud of our NPS score. Year to date, it is actually 100%. So yeah, so we're very proud of that. We have an amazing project team, 10 out of 10s on our surveys for this year. We have a carrier grade voice network, and that's our IP. It's built across North America with redundancy, and Ricardo will speak to that in a bit. And we not only provide voice for Teams, we have applications that we've developed. So we have a text app for Teams. So that will enable you to SMS, MMS from that Teams phone number that you're making calls from, an app that lives right within Teams. And we have other applications as well for number management, 100% always on call recording tools, user analytics dashboards, and a lot of other things too. And as far as professional services, we like to call ourselves the all-in-one Operator Connect partner, because we're not just providing PSTN. We do all of the professional services as well. So the onboarding is from start to finish. It's a white glove implementation. We do everything from porting, user training, user adoption. We handle everything on that side. So that's how kind of we differentiate ourselves from the other Operator Connect partners out there. And we also have a development team that can custom design things like integrations to CRMs or any special development that a customer might need. There we go. Now I'm preaching to the choir here, so I'll be very quick on this slide. Of course, why Microsoft Teams? It can replace all of these other systems that you would use for voice, SMS, chat, meetings, webinars, and file sharing. Teams can do it all. So that's really it. And in a nutshell, it creates a single pane of glass. So if you're already in there, chatting away, you already have your Teams meetings, it just makes a lot of sense to have your phone system in Teams as well. And of course, it enables remote collaboration and hybrid environments. Deploying Teams, of course, you need two things. You need to have Teams, of course, as a base, and then you just add the phone system, phone standard license on top of that. And then you need someone for the calling plans. So of course, there's Microsoft. They have their own calling plans, but they're very inflexible. Can't really negotiate the prices or have any extra features like we do. So we do B and C, Operator Connect. We also do direct routing as a service, and that's what we started doing. And this is how we turbocharge Teams. So I mentioned our text app. So we enable texting from Teams, both A to P, so application to person, and P to P, person to person. SMS and MMS, so not just text, but multimedia, pictures, videos, attachments, emojis, single, just one-to-one, or groups of up to 10, and broadcast texting as well. And we've developed it with opt-in and opt-out features and consent. So we have some clients in the healthcare space that have to remain HIPAA compliant. And we've designed the app with consent features so that they can remain HIPAA compliant. And we've also designed special integrations with CRMs and EHRs to link the text app with those record systems. We also have enhanced user analytics. So we have dashboards. You can see analytics on calls made in the environment, even Teams meetings, the quality of the calls you can look into for troubleshooting, a bunch of things you can see there as far as what your users are doing within Teams, and statistics on the auto attendance and call queues within Teams as well. Another piece to that is call recording. If you want to record 100% of your calls in Teams, we have a tool for that. It's kind of neat. You can actually listen into live calls as a manager, and maybe it's not going well, you can barge into the call as well. So you'll kind of notice that we're pushing Teams to the limit. As far as it can go into the CCAS space, as far as we can push it, we're pushing it. I talked about our professional services and our custom development. And we also can accommodate complex routing. So this is where we've actually gotten some deals from Microsoft themselves, where they need to connect into a legacy PBX system like a Mitel or a Cisco, and have it interop with Teams during the phased implementation. So we can actually do some pretty cool things in our network that make us unique, as well as integrating with analog devices like, warehouses with overhead paging or emergency phones. This is our network, so I'll let Ricardo speak to this a little bit, maybe just give a high level.
Yeah, I won't bore you too much with the network. In essence, everything we do is built privately. We peer privately into the carriers, peer privately into the manufacturers. We're focused on Microsoft for Teams, and we're focused on Five9 for contact center. But we have a lot of organizations that leverage our network, bring their own carriers, bring their own applications. We use Bandwidth. Bandwidth is the same carrier that Microsoft uses. So we were the first implementer of Dynamic 911 right after Microsoft. We know that because they did it through Bandwidth, and we were the first ones after them. We service the US, we service Canada. PSTN and telephony is quite lucrative. If you haven't, not all people raise their hands in terms of interest, but it is a very lucrative aspect of a client's environment, right? So it's all recurring revenue. The minutes we can make it, I think we can get you like 40, 50% margins on the minutes. If you use Microsoft calling plans, Microsoft does not pay referral fees. So that's not a great approach as a partner. We can help you monetize it while enhancing the solution that you can offer. And it'll be less expensive than going through Microsoft calling plans. But if you have any, we can get to the network more than that, but just for this crowd, it probably doesn't make sense to. Five9 uptime. And as we said, we're Operator Connect.
So this is how we go to market. We essentially have 3 marketing bundles. We have our back office hero, our business connector, and our 360 communicator. So back office hero are folks that don't really have a lot of interaction with the outside world. They just need the basics. The business connector will add in things like the text app and the analytics. And then 360 communicator, that's our contact center product. So that's Five9 on the back end there. And that's a full cloud contact center with all the omni-channel features you'd expect, and the analytics that go along with that. And just some price points there, so you can see at the bottom. That's per user per month. Yeah.
You want to hold for questions?
Oh, great.
No, please.
So I was chatting with my son, who's mid-20s in the music industry. And I said, how do you guys communicate with each other to plan projects? Because they're releasing albums and communicating with artists and labels. He says, you name it, we're using it. So WhatsApp, their phones, whatever. If they had a solution like this and a soft phone on their favorite mobile device, is this a way to kind of simplify that everybody's using the same?
Microsoft's value proposition is a single pane of glass, right? So you consolidate all these different applications in your environment into one, right? Creates elegance. So you're going to hire a new person. HR has to hire somebody. You create one IT profile, and then you license, right? Otherwise, you have to have somebody for Dropbox, somebody for Slack, somebody for Zoom, somebody for RingCentral, and you end up with this multitude of personas in your environment, and all of that collapses down to a single profile.
Yeah.
So it's more elegant, it's simpler, and then it's more cost effective because you're dealing with one supplier, Microsoft, versus 5 or 6, right, or 7. So that's what's basically catapulted Microsoft Teams into the fastest growing application of basically modern history. And we spent all of 2020 evangelizing Teams. We happened to get into it early for a variety of reasons. I won't get into it, but it was mostly luck more than foresight. And then we spent 2020 explaining to organizations why they needed it, and they didn't really understand it. Everybody understands it today. Now it's not, should I have Teams? It's why should I have Teams with you, right? So now it's becoming for these reasons. But it's been highly effective. If you go head to head, Teams versus Slack, maybe Slack's more robust. Or if you go Teams versus Zoom, maybe Zoom's more robust. But when you put it all together, like you're not going to compare. Like it's a different thing, right? you can't compare those things to Teams. Teams is significantly more. But yeah, I mean, Teams is free. Your son could easily deploy Teams and communicate with his band and
Well,
talk over Teams for free. And
well, maybe just for a little more context. So you've got, and I'm speaking maybe from a generational difference. So I might be, hey, I'll use this tool, whatever you guys
Yeah.
give me, that's what I'm going to use. But I think a lot of younger people entering industries are bringing the tools that they learned to use in high school. But
yeah, for sure.
they just continue using
Yeah.
it. But there's no real management of it. It's just,
So to your point, that's why Microsoft gives it away to education. The educational licenses are almost free, and right? It's kind of indoctrinate the students into using Teams, right? Which just makes sense. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to take a call and
Yeah.
I missed it, but are you in the telecom channel
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're exactly.
under Sandler Partners or one of those?
Oh, under the master disties. Historically, we have not. No, you would come direct. It wouldn't go through Sandler.
Like I sell through partners,
Hmm.
typically those partners.
Yeah.
So I'd be happy to make introductions, but they want to be,
Yeah. You know, it's a different,
but not all of them do, but a lot of them.
yeah, we've looked at it. We decided against it early on for a variety of reasons.
A lot of money.
It's not that it's a lot of money, is it became who's paying the biggest spiff this month, and that's who we'll push. And that's not, you know, we're more about what's best for the clients, kind of long term. So we enable this economic engine that's more of an annuity model than like spiffs and upfronts. And so we typically attract partners that want a white label. They're looking more for like EBITDA and valuation, more than cash flow upfront. And they're totally two different things. And we just don't have the resources to support all the different, you know, it just requires a full-time. So we haven't historically done it. And we have basically 3 economic models. You can be a referral agent and get an upfront. You can do that. Or you can do it on our paper, or you can do it on your paper, excuse me, and then get a recurring annuity. And then there's another version of that where you take a bigger position, but you can get to 50-60% margins over time once you establish a base. I'm not going to bore you guys today with the details. If you're interested, we can have a one-on-one call and really go through it. But it's more of a kind of cash flow generating over time annuity that you build, and you add to your MRR and you build on your valuation more than spiffs and one-time fees. And so it just attracts a different audience. It's more of a partners and resellers but anyhow. I'm not sure that answers your
That makes
question.
sense. I mean,
Yeah.
telecom, in my opinion, is a race to zero.
Yeah.
I want to be grouped in that if you.
Yeah. So it's either a race to the bottom or inflation of services. So we've been focusing on inflation of services, right? Adding the texting, adding the number management, call recording. And then what happens with Teams? With Teams is fantastic, but it does have this demarcation point when it comes to omni-channel. So if you want to have like email and you want to have all these live chat, you start looking at products like Five9, and we've selected Five9 as our contact center. Or if you're looking at CRM integration, if it's not Dynamics is fantastic. But if it's not Dynamics, it starts to break apart. We're an inner circle partner of Microsoft. And because of that, we were involved with the D365 app back in like March, April. And they actually use one of my testimonials. Microsoft does on the website if you go to it. And that's been an interesting app that we're bringing on as well. But that's all Copilot first, and we can talk more about that if you wanted to. But Cindy's going to talk now about kind of different roles and responsibilities. We'll basically do everything. We'll do as much as you let us, and then you can take different aspects of the relationship depending on your preference, and it varies depending on the partner. But we'll kind of get into that.
Yep. So the first option to partner with us is becoming a referral agent. And that's really the least amount of work on your part. All you have to do is bring us the lead. We do the rest, from proposal development to all of the taxes, all of that fun stuff, and supporting them as well. We do have our next step up of being a partner with us, and that's becoming a reseller partner. Your compensation is higher on this end because you have a little bit more responsibility. It would go on your paper. We, of course, help with the taxes and things like that and the support. But there's more responsibility on your part. There's a minimum commitment and a one-time onboarding fee. But you do enjoy higher margins. And here's just the roles and responsibilities between us if you were to become a reseller partner. Essentially, Teams Plus could be your practice within, if you're part of an MSP, we could be your Teams telephony practice. So you would assist with the lead generation. We would do the proposal development. You can see right here. It's a little bit more involved and more of a partnership. And this is a QR code. If you want to scan, this will go to our landing page where you can learn more about the partner programs we have to offer and contact us so we can have a call together and explore options with you.
We printed out some flyers with the QR code. We'll leave it in the back for those who are interested. Yes.
Quick question about parts lines.
Yeah.
Do you guys support parts lines for elevators and fire alarms?
We tend to stay away from it. We don't usually, we try to just stick to SIP. So like, for example, we do some universities, they'll give us everything. We can, but we prefer not to be honest. Yeah. We don't usually try to disrupt any of the alarm or security, but gates, door gates, emergency phones, any analog faxes, we'll do all of that. No problem. Yeah.
Any other questions?
All right. Well, thank you. We appreciate it. Oh,
So congrats on the 100 PST. That's great, the score. What do you think, besides customer experience, obviously, what do you think is the key for that, like as far as your business?
well, so we're highly focused. So most service providers will implement a variety of solutions. So if you want Genesis, you want 5.9, you want Nice and Contact, you want 8x8, you want Ring Central, we don't care. We'll implement it. We don't do that. We only do Teams and we only do 5.9. So we get a lot of reps in both. So we do the same thing over and over again, and we only do one thing. So that makes us get really good at it just by sheer like reps. And so, and we've been doing it for a long time. So time plus, reps, we've gotten decent at it. And the other thing is we don't nickel and dime during the experience. We do fixed fee pricing. So if the project's running long, we don't make more. And so we avoid friction with the customer where they're paying more than they thought they'd have to pay. So that helps. And then we're highly responsive and we don't nickel and dime. So if they want 10 trainings versus 2, like we'll do it. We're highly like white glove. And I would say that combination is what does it.
Of all the migrations, do you see a pattern on a specific sector that's doing?
So what's nice about telephony is every company needs phones. Not every company needs contact center, but every company needs phones. We don't have a ton of concentration in one. We have some concentration, a little bit. We do a lot of collections. We do manufacturing. We do insurance, healthcare. No, I don't know that I would say there's a pattern. Everybody needs it. So.
You see the finance world in it as well?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And they probably gonna need Teams and like a 5.9 contact center. So every contact center deal is worth like 20 Teams deals because the numbers are just bigger. Their needs are bigger. They're more complicated. It's a business critical application. They care about it more. They're willing to spend more. It drives revenue, not just costs. So the financial sector is great for contact center. Yeah.
And lastly, is there any AI?
Oh, absolutely. For sure. Yeah.
Strategies or?
Yeah. I mean, right now, most of it in the contact center space, like the easy stuff is transcription, agent transcription, call transcription at the end, summary, drop into the CRM, quality management. So rating calls, that's being used big time. We're trying to develop, we have do you know Harvest Christian Church? They're here. So we do their phones, we do their texting. We're trying to overlay AI into their texting so they can monitor communications between pastors and adolescents just to make sure. So there, for sure, AI is all anybody talks about, to be honest. Yeah.
Good job, Felix.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. And then I was stretching or raising your hand? Just stretching?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Jared?
say quick, so
Yeah.
I know Rico and his team for like, I don't know.
It's a long time, yeah.
Years, and so I've done a bunch of projects with them and I'd say definitely been a great partner.
Yeah.
Me and just wanted to thank you so they sponsored our 10-year
Yeah.
anniversary and now they did.
That was at the Hyatt? It was at the hotel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to tell.
Yeah. Jared's been our connection to you guys this whole time. Jared's been really good at promoting you guys and you guys have been awesome.
Yeah. So thanks.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Really appreciate it. I'm sure we'll sponsor more.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Here's the box if you want to, Rico.
Box your old.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Just so it doesn't break on the way home. You're welcome. All right. Will you handle the slides there for me, Ashok? And Brian, keep an eye on time. I know that we've got a jam-packed day, but wanted to get down to some of the local SoCal announcements that we have for our chapter. So jumping right in, we have our next quarterly SMB Tech Fest event. Raise your hand. How many people have gone to SMB Tech Fest in the previous years? Okay, about maybe 2/3 of the room. Great opportunity. It is complimentary with this QR code right here. It is in the Irvine area. Feed you all day. Great content as far as presenters flown in. All of the large groups have different types of programming. We see everything from individual sessions with content, sponsor presentations, panels, and thought leadership. So one of our past presidents, Dave Seibert, is the organizer, and we are there every single event. Would love to have you participate. So go ahead and scan the QR code. We'll also send out some emails around this, but this will be on January 23rd and 24th. Next, how many in the room are members or at least have attended a Women in Tech networking event? Yeah, look at all of those male allies. I love it. Well, even more of a reason to become a member. You can now use this coupon code for a discount off your membership. And there is actually discounts for being in IAMCP as well as in WIT. So you get a little bit of savings on both sides of your membership. I myself am on the board as the philanthropy chair. We had a great event last month with IAMCP SoCal sponsoring the WIT network, and we did a paint and sip event. I should have posted some pictures, but we painted this adorable little bug on the beach, and it was a great opportunity to network and get to know both of our different communities and organizations together to kind of find a common balance and find ways that we could collaborate by bringing both together. Now there's actually the opportunity in March of 2025. You saw on the IAMCP Americas slides that there's the Illuminate and Ignite event where on a national level, we're coming together with the WIT network. So if you want to learn more, please feel free to find out information here, but I am more than happy to get you connected into the community here. Lots of great work. And tonight we're actually doing our 2025 planning for all the new events coming up for the next calendar year. Did we get one too many?
Yeah.
No, the blue and yellow one, I think, was our mentoring program. Who would be good to talk a little bit more? Jason, come on up.
Oh, Jason.
Not all of us aren't Ashley. We just can't do it. We're all on our journey. We're all progressing along our career path. Some of us are very young, getting started. Some of us more mature. That's fine. We want to actually start to utilize that to fit the pillars of the organization in education and networking. We're starting a professional mentoring program. If you're interested in sharing your expertise with somebody, helping them along their career path, or if you're on the other end of that, you could really use somebody that can provide you with some advice as you kind of progress your way on. This is the program for you. You can scan this QR code. It'll take you right to our form. And Danny Anuma and I are helping to get that rolling. Thank you, Danny. And if you want more information, reach out to me. I'm right here. Thanks so much.
Boom. Nice.
Thank you, Jason. I believe this kind of came out of feedback from our surveys and talking to our collective group of members and guests that are coming. So towards the end of today, we do take time to read your survey answers and responses and come up with ways that we can put it into action. So encourage you to be transparent and fill out that survey later today so we can look at 2025 and make it more valuable to you as a member. But it is that time of year. I will bring Steve Tanner up to talk a little bit about our SoCal elections, the updates, and a little bit from our candidates. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Ashley. If you are a current board member or would like to be, those of you that know you're on the slate, if you could just join me at the front, make your way up to the front. And Ashok, thank you. You're on the right slide. So there is a nomination committee. It's formed by the past president of the chapter. That was my role this year. And thank you to Jared and Manish who assisted me with this process. So our objective was to, Manish, sorry, go back 1 second. Our objective was to solicit nominations from those of you that had a great idea of who you thought might be a volunteer, would like to be a volunteer. The people that have been volunteering for the last 1.5 to 2 years have done a fabulous job. So Brian and team, thank you so much for all the work you've done, not only for the chapter, but for the activities and the cohesiveness that you've been developing over the last year. Our committee discussed with the nominees, first of all, are you going to accept the nomination? And B, are you eligible to be voted to be a nominee? And in our chapter, we follow the guidelines of the Americas guidelines and rules, which means that in order to be a voted member or committee member, a voted member of the board, you need to be an MSN numbered partner, and you need to be primary chapter in this chapter, SoCal, and you need to have been here at least 90 days. So for somebody that just joined this month, sorry, you can't be a board member, but you could absolutely be a committee member and volunteer your time that way. I'd like to at least introduce our current active board. You're going to go to the next slide in a second, Ashok, but I'd like to 30 seconds for those that are not, don't have a second person against, like VP, president, treasurer, and secretary. Just reintroduce yourself because not everybody knows the role you're in. After you've met all these individuals, I'm going to ask for nominations from the floor. So if you think you are an MSN numbered partner, you've been a member for 90 days or more, and you'd like to nominate yourself for one of the roles on our board, you're certainly welcome to do that. We'll take your name. But if you don't have any additional nominees from the floor, this will be the slate that you'll be voting on. And then there'll be a QR code that you can use to vote for the board for this coming year. So next slide. Thank you. So Brian, if you could just 30 seconds, quick introduction, and then Ashley, yourself as well, and then we'll go to the next slide.
Hi there, I'm Brian Inuma. I was first voluntold to be secretary. This is way back. Okay, so this is Eric Klaus's fault. So twisted my arm to be secretary under Eric Klaus. Idiot Bader on my left, Eric Klaus on my right. So I've been the secretary. I am the recovering treasurer. So thank you to Ice Adams for taking over as treasurer. I was the reluctant Marcom chair, and I think I became president because I didn't step back quickly enough.
Yes, last year this time, when your anniversary.
All right, very good. So that's how I got into this. Anyway, my role as president is to kind of guide the operations of the chapter. Ashley Duenas, who you'll hear from in a moment, she is wonderful, wonderful vice president. Can't do without her. So anyway, and thank you to all the members of the board that have served this past year.
Thank you, Brian. Ashley, if you could reintroduce yourself. Thank you.
Hello, Ashley Duenas. I got involved with IAMCP after leaving Microsoft Corporate for a number of years and actually seeing some of our core membership, Eric Klaus, Eddie Bader, Manish, those that would come into the Microsoft stores and do events, and really thought it was a great way to bring community along with technology into a place that made it accessible to all. I first came in as the diversity inclusion chair for SoCal. We were one of the first chapters to kind of have that as an actual position. And I haven't been able to leave ever since. So I'm happy to be supporting as vice president, kind of have my hands in all the different areas, making things move and get done, execute ideas. But the one thing I will not be signing up for is golf again for next year. I don't know if anyone can see the roots, but the gray hair is just too fierce in that role. So if anyone is interested in joining the golf as lead of the chair, this is my call to action. If you're not necessarily thinking about the board, But how many here were at the tournament, heard about the tournament, previously been involved? We'll talk a little bit more in a few, but one of the additional things in that we're looking for support on. But VP kind of covers the gamut, and I've appreciated working with everybody on the board and specifically with everything that Brian Anuma has done since coming on board, structure and organization, thought, and really cares about the group. So we've got a special bunch here. Thank you. No one's running against me. So I think we're okay, but I'll see who we're calling up here next.
Thank you, Ashley. So we have two additional unopposed board positions. Our secretary, Tushar, who's currently traveling, has done a wonderful job for the last couple of years and is expected to continue unless there's some volunteers in the group. And then our treasurer, Ice, if you could introduce yourself, Ice, to the group. Thank you.
I'm Ice Adams, and I'm the founder and CEO of Wembo. What we do is that we do a comprehensive accounting and tax services. Now we are also expanding our services to D365 BC. So I think it really opened up a lot of opportunity for us to collaborate and make money on that. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Treasurer, do you have any goals for this year?
To have each other to make money on D365 BC.
Thank you, Ice.
And though she did not admit to it, our books balance and the records have been kept very well. So thank you, Ice, for managing that for us. So we have two director positions on our board, and this year we're fortunate to have 4 nominees, all of which I've come to know in different ways. And so I'd like to start with Fred Cooper. Fred, maybe introduce yourself, some of the things you might see yourself doing this coming year.
Thank you, Fred Cooper, current director. Happy to be director again. I've been with the chapter, I don't know, 15 years, and was kind of roped in to do sponsorship for a lot of that time and still help a little bit there, as well as with the golf tournament. Happy to help there if needed, but happy to pass those reins over as well. Manish, you don't have any more hair, so maybe you should do golf. You're also probably the best golfer in the room. Hint, hint. Anyway, happy to be director again, fill in the cracks where needed. Happy to, I tend to be one of the main people with events. That's why I'm not treasurer, because I'd probably spend all the money on events. Whereas secretary, I'd have to keep track of all of that. So that's not what I do. So happy to do all those things or wherever it's needed. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Fred. And Feli has offered his expertise as well. So Feli, if you could come forward, introduce yourself, and maybe some things you might suggest for this coming year.
Thank you, Steve. So Jason and Manish and I go to the same hairstylist, as you can tell. We love it there, so always specials. You know, I have a passion for the next generation. I have a passion for those that are starting their careers in tech because I know how tough it is. And to that matter, how many of you are students here? Raise your hand. Look at this. Give him a hand, you guys. Give him a hand. I believe that as part of the learning committee, we should always have room for these students and always empower the next generation and somehow be a support for them. So every time I get invited to go and speak to all these locations, I do it with a great honor and a great heart because I know that, hey, this could be your next big tech leader in the next few years. You never know, right? It could be the next Elon Musk over there in the corner. I met this gentleman at Camino College the other day, and look, he's here. He's hungry. He wants to learn. So I believe that part of the learning committee, Steve, is keep bringing those opportunities, but also how can we make these meetings better and really get out of this not just motivated, but also ready to change the world. So.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Feli. And this is all somewhat alphabetical, so based on last name. So William Pote, if you could come to the stage. Thank you so much.
Honestly, I voted for Fred. No, goodness. So I started about halfway into the year helping with membership, doing whatever I can to really just kind of backfill and help the team out. At the end of the day, I would love to continue participating and really helping grow the chapter. Everyone is just a fantastic team to work with, and I really love getting to know people more. So if I'm elected, I will do awesome things, like vote for Fred.
Thanks, William. And all election promises are kept in this board, right? That's not what works here. Jason, if you could come forward.
If you are comfortable sitting right where you are, do not vote for Jason Price. If you think, oh yeah, my membership is perfectly adequate, do not vote for Jason Price. This guy is in change management. He was spending 10 years in nonprofit membership associations, training their boards, strategic planning, building out their programs, helping them recruit, helping them amplify the value of their membership. Don't vote for Jason Price.
Thank you. All right, you heard it here first. All right, so you've had a chance to meet our nominees, many unopposed, but the two director positions are actually quite critical in the sense that these are roles that are open in the sense of you being able to bring your strengths, personality, organizational skills, and leadership skills to the table. So is there anybody that would like to nominate either yourselves or somebody else to be considered for the slate for this coming year?
Steve, I want to throw my hat in the ring for a committee as we talk.
Okay, great. Thank you. So for those of you that are managing committees, thank you, Joe. Joe and I did spend some time talking about that. You don't have to be a board member to be involved as a volunteer. But if you think you want to have a stronger leadership role in the chapter, that's what the board is all about. Okay, thank you, Joe. Anybody else with a comment? Excellent, thank you. So this is the QR code to exercise your right to vote. And as a SoCal member who has been here at least 90 days and has an MPN number, this code will ask you your email address that you use for your membership. So go ahead and fill that in. The slate will be active until the end of business Monday. So if you can't decide today, or you want to talk to the candidates offline or do something like that before you make your decision, that's certainly up to you. But this is the voting link. Okay, Fred. And we can put this back up later if needed. All right. Everybody got what they needed? All right, thank you. All right, Ashok. Thank you, everybody.
It's me again. Yeah, let's give them a round of applause. Honestly, there is a ton of work that goes in behind the scenes, as well as day of and planning all of the meetings between the meetings, the social events. So thank you to everybody who is interested in joining the committee, that has had their arm twisted to participate. We're really excited. This is a favorite part for me. So we had the opportunity in October to get together to celebrate 15 years of IAMCP SoCal. Give that a round of applause. 15 years. And our title sponsor was actually our founding president of IAMCP SoCal, Justin Slagle. The Partner Masters were our title sponsor. And the biggest thing for me when I wanted to lead the committee as a first timer, carry on Michelle Hollis's legacy, was I wanted to hear from our charities. I wanted there to be a partnership. I wanted an opportunity for not only there to be collaboration, but learn more about what the different organizations are doing and how they want to show up for us and our association and organization in a way that would be collaborative and beneficial to all. I could not believe the overwhelming nominations that we received. I think there were 12 at one point and 8 that we went through a vetting process and spoke with everybody from Chalk to a very small Step Up for Kids that's here locally. all amazing causes. And I have to say that we did try to interwork and do small give backs and different ways of doing donation because it was hard to say no to anyone, but we did choose to. And so first, I would like to call up Noel from Ronald McDonald House Charities of Southern California. This has been a long partnership with Noel and Ruth and Valerie, so many from the team there. Before we give the presentation, I have been so touched by not only what you shared at the golf tournament, having an opportunity for you to bring us to the gala as an IAMCP board, as well as volunteers and things that we've done. But every time that you speak and go through just who's in the house, what you're doing for your 35th anniversary. I didn't wear my waterproof mascara, so we'll see how it goes. But I would love for you to just give a couple minutes, tell us a little bit more, and then as we continue working together, ways that people can be involved.
So thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Brian. Welcome. I welcome to you all. For the new members, my name is Noel Bristales. I serve as Executive Director of Ronald McDonald House, Orange County. And the mission of our charity is to provide care, comfort, and support to families that have seriously ill children. So that's the population that we serve. And we're an actual house in the city of Orange. We're about a block and a half away from Chalk. And there's two criteria to stay at Ronald McDonald House. Is that you have a seriously ill child and then the distance away from the hospital. So if you lived right next to the hospital, you wouldn't stay at Ronald McDonald House. But if you lived in South County, Inland Empire, Riverside, out of state, out of the country, and your child was being treated at any hospital in Orange County, you might need our services. Our services are free, so families actually stay at the Ronald McDonald House. We just expanded our house because of the increased demand from 20 to 44 guest rooms. We went from 12,500 square feet to over 30,000. Again, in direct response to the increased demand in our community. And you have a standing invitation for some of you have visited the house, and for others, I'd love to show you, because there's two challenges that our charity faces. One, we have strong brand recognition. We've seen you at the coin thing and Roundup at the McDonald's stores. But brand understanding, we're challenged. If I ask the general public, what is it we do? Not really sure what Ronald McDonald House does. And we're actually a house that cares for families that have seriously ill children. And then second is our funding. Don't you get a big fat check from McDonald's Corp to do the good work? And actually it's 85% we rely on the community. So the Orange County Ronald McDonald House celebrates 35 years of service in our community. Before we expanded, we averaged 2,500 guests a year. With our expansion, we anticipate 5,000 to 7,000 guests that we can accommodate. And yes, at the golf tournament, those of you who are there, I kind of share like who's in the house, and I'll briefly just share. So right now we have about 25 families currently at the Orange County House. Again, with our expansion, we can accommodate up to 44. This week was really tough for one of our families. So of the 25, one of them has a 1-year-old, actually celebrated his 1-year-old his birthday last Friday. And the rough news they received was the nothing else we can do, right? Devastating for this family, for the hospital say there is nothing else we could do for your child. And so when I share about the families that we serve, the seriously ill children, it's issues like that that take place at the Ronald McDonald House. And of course, we have others that stay with us. So briefly for those, how long can they stay? So I shared that we charge nothing. We ask for a $10 contribution, but no families turned away for inability to pay. And other questions I have is, how long can they stay? And for us, it's a case by case. So we've had families stay over a year because their child was in need. Because our philosophy is, if you have a critically ill child, you're out of state. After 30 days, day 31, I still live out of state. My child's still critically ill. So what difference does a time frame make? So we look to serve families. And again, you have a standing invitation to visit the house to learn more about our charity. I appreciate being selected to be a beneficiary. And on behalf of families that we serve, thank you, IAMCP, for your support. Question?
I've been volunteering with you guys for the last couple of years, and I didn't know this, so maybe you can just say a couple of quick words about it. Like, I'm at the beer fest, I went to the trunk retreat, all the different things that people can do that
don't necessarily know or have the money, or in addition to the money that they can do to help.
Excellent. That was, I owe you the $2. I'm like, planted somebody to just say, and by the way, how can we support the
Back to that.
Okay, nice. So yeah, we do have signature events. So we have the annual walk for kids in Irvine, just like, the championship stadium. We have our golf tournament, our own golf tournament. We're a beneficiary of yours as well. And we have our gala, but we actually have events. So we talked about Beer Fest. We partner with Orange County Soccer Club. And what they had shared is, if you bring us volunteers, we're going to cut you guys a check to support our event, and we'll give and donate to the charity. The other way they donate to the charity as well is they let us use their facility free of charge for our Walk for Kids, which is really rare. So Beer Fest is another way, making meals. So your families, your organization, your churches, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts can actually make meals at the house for the families staying there. We talked about there's a recurring gifts for $10 a month. You can be a Happy Hugs member. And that basically helps offset our operating costs annually. And so, again, with our expansion, that was one of our biggest challenges. You have the house built, you've expanded it, and yes, there's increased costs. So that's one of the ways that we're asking folks to really step up now more than ever so that we can serve more families in our community.
We will bring up Breezy in a second, but we raised just over $10,000 at the event. This was record for us. We are not your major enterprise. We don't necessarily have the corporate sponsors, but this was all from our collective community and sponsors that came on board, and we are splitting that between these two charities. So Ashok, I'll give you the mic here, and Mario, if you can take some pictures. We are happy to present $5,000 to the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Southern California. And yes, you can go ahead and sit down. I really appreciate, sorry. We gotta use that dry erase board there. So the second group that we decided to choose of those that were nominated, we have done a lot of volunteerism with over the years. We've had some of the board members and active participants that sit on the board of the Breezy Youth Center. So come on up. I have Julie and Natalie or Natalia? Natalie, sorry about that. Come on up. I've been working with Roxy and Alicia at the youth center, and we have participated in the Navidad en El Barrio food drive, handout to families in the area. If you ladies could tell us a little bit more about the things that have been going on, we're going to get our check ready and take it away.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. We were part of the golf tournament back in October, and that was actually my first time ever being at a golf course, so it was really a nice experience. And I'm just super grateful. We are in Central Los Angeles, and we have an after-school program. We work with families, local families in the area. We provide a lot of the food services, food distributions, and things like that. But I'm going to go ahead and let Natalie explain a little bit more about who we are.
Hello, everyone. Yes, so we are located in Central Los Angeles. We do have an upcoming food distribution where we're going to be feeding 800 families this upcoming Saturday, well, next Saturday, December 14. So if anyone is interested in volunteering, we do have a lot of support needed with getting the food ready to distribute to the families and just being out there. But yeah, we are really happy to be here today. Thank you for inviting us, and thank you for everything.
Absolutely. How many years, Eric, do you think that we've been going to the holiday event now?
I think 10 years. I think this is our 10th year since 2015.
So amazing opportunity. For the last several, I bring my entire family. I bring my small children and teenagers and just show how many families are in need just in our neighborhood communities. And to see the line that goes through the shopping center and the gratitude and thankfulness and joy, though, on all the faces of those that are being served and helped. But some of the other events, and that so many people that actually use the services become future employees and board members and continue the mission and cause is really what spoke to us. And so if there is a way, I know that there's so many volunteers. We were actually told that we had a limit on how many volunteers we could have this year because there's so many great partners to the Breezy Group. There's a lot that they're doing on their side. And so if you want to learn more or get involved, please let us know. This has been a longtime partner of ours, and we just could not be more pleased. So we are also very proud to present our check for $5,000 to the Breezy Youth Center. Thank you. And we are still looking for someone to carry the cause into next year for the golf tournament. So if you are interested, you play, or you know somebody that has that philanthropic give back mentality and would like to support our golf committee, we are looking for someone to head that up next year. And if not, we may make it more of a every 5 years, every few years, but it is so much fun that hopefully we'll be able to get planning moving there soon. Oh, I see David LaVille is on. Maybe he would be on our golf head of committee down there in San Diego. Put you on the spot there, David.
He lives in LA though.
Just made a joke on golf.
No, you can hear me loud and clear. All right, we're going to move into the next part, which is our 20-second introductions. This is a quick opportunity for you to tell a little bit more about who you are, why you're here, maybe what your plans are for the holidays. We're in the thick of it now, but if you also brought a guest, please share their information. And I'm going to start with our fearless leader and president, Brian.
Okay, so bear with me for a second. We're going to try something that we had done many years before. And thank you to Eric Klaus for reminding us that we should be doing this every meeting. So if you are a member with a blue badge or without a blue badge, stay here. If you are a guest and not a member yet, wearing a red badge most likely, would you please step out in that direction and follow BJ and follow Mario outside. To be frank, they're going to try and twist your arm. But to encourage you to join IAMCP. It is a wonderful organization, so let's give this a try. So thank you, Eric, for reminding us.
Is that dollar deal still going on for now?
Yes, so I think my young protege there did sign up yesterday for $1 and became a member.
You asked yes.
Yes, if you have a red badge or not a member, then by all means walk out and talk with BJ and talk with Mario.
Now.
You go with.
Mario wasn't there.
That doesn't want you to just go out there. Yeah. Danny, you remember?
Yes.
This you received. You were my guest. I guess you're not my guest.
And
Yes, joined.
oh, good for you.
On Monday or something.
And then that Danny over there joined yesterday, so he's now no longer a guest either.
Dollar will spend.
Touche. Okay, good. All right. My name is Brian Inuma. This will be fast, so this will help us on time because the number of folks to do the 20-second introduction is pretty small. For 32 years, I ran an IT consulting firm focused on enterprise resource planning, application, implementation, and support. In September of last year, decided to close the business and have been semi-retired since then. I've been doing some nonprofit work for Karut, as I mentioned, also for another nonprofit focused on survivors of human trafficking called Human Save. They provide mental health services to survivors of human trafficking. Some of them are children, which makes it even worse. I think this probably is my day job, I think. Being president of IAMCP SoCal is pretty much a full-time job. And Eric warned me that it was pretty much a full-time job. He was right. I have a little bit of time devoted to a small client, and it's a small manufacturing client in Santa Fe Springs. I am in an advisory role, so I'm not necessarily technical, not necessarily accounting, but doing something that's almost board level, maybe not quite, but providing some advisory, services based upon the many years of experience I've had, good and bad, but drawing from some of that experience and providing some help. Okay, very good. I am going to pass the microphone to Ice Adams.
So I'm the current treasurer of our chapter, and I wish I can continue to serve everyone the next year.
Okay, I'm Eric Klaus. My name keeps getting popped up here. I am the past president. We'll leave it at that. It's been a little while. But today, I am the director of the Microsoft practice for Neoteric 365. We are a Microsoft Cloud and AI partner. We focus extensively on the cloud and AI solutions, Power Apps development. We're also a Microsoft Dynamics partner as well. So if you have clients who are interested in AI, if you have clients who are interested in any of the solutions that I just mentioned, would be happy to chat with you. We'll go next.
You're not getting out of it.
All right. Okay. Hello, I'm Ashok Patel, Aegis Innovators. We specialize in deploying the Zero Trust framework for our clients, and we also have several products such as the FPaaS, which is a passwordless solution for any type of client. Thank you.
Hi everyone, Feli Michaga with Managed Solutions, Senior Field Engineer. I'm also the brand ambassador and serve the Orange County area. Companies in San Diego, but I handle Orange County customers, 20, 50 users and above. So if you're looking for a new ISP or service provider, here we are.
Thank you, Feli. Ashley Dueñas, I've talked to you a lot about the WIT Network and IMCP, but my paying job is Director of Business Development for MW Partners. We are a global staffing and project solutions firm, over 16 years in the business, here located in Costa Mesa, and we help with contingent or staff augmentation in the areas of IT, F&A, and anything really professional, so HR, marketing, that kind of bleed into technology these days. Direct hire, backfills, strategic positions, another one of our skill sets and strengths. And we do our own time and materials projects. Some of our specialties around custom application development, process improvement, and automation. But it has been these communities that I've tried to help those in transitions, rifts, what have you, layoffs. It's been a tough market. And so we found creative ways of getting people to work, connecting those with groups just like this to try to find their next opportunity. And I'm happy to help those that you have in your groups. I know Fred is fantastic at sending people my way, but I'm always looking for clients that you can use our services as well. So if you have a project that is stalling because you don't have the right folks, or you need that technical architect, a solution designation, pursuit that you're after, and you're missing some of your certifications, all of those things we can help you with at MW Partners.
Hey, everybody. Joe Crigliano. Very happy to be here. I live in Orange County, have a 19-year-old daughter. Spent 24 years at Microsoft. I used to work in this office for 13 years. Ooh, get out of the way. I was a founding member of the Dynamics organization when Microsoft bought Great Plains, and all 24 years have been in the Dynamics space. Currently, I work for a company called Cielos. We are a partner's partner, so we do services just for partners in the Dynamics ecosystem. One of the things we do is we help partners manage their Microsoft relationship, which gets into partner centers, very similar to my friend Justin Slagle's job. It's just that we double click on the Dynamics business. Very happy to be here. I've been a member, just haven't been active. Had a great discussion with Steve and want to get more active, and look forward to more engagement. Thanks.
Hi, Jason Price. I live up in Santa Clarita. I fight through LA just to be with all of you fine people every time. It's worth it. So my company delivers a training, adoption, and change management for modern work, security, and co-pilot. Boom, boom, boom. Planning for the holidays. Going camping this weekend in Ventura so we could do the wine walk along the boardwalk there. I am not a guest. LinkedIn information coming 20 seconds. Boom.
Fred Cooper, my day job is working for Effortless Office. We're an MSP helping businesses to be their IT department or help desk. So any of you that do Dynamics or whatever and run into opportunities that people need a real IT department behind them, we can help. But I wanted to see if anybody had an in with local restaurant chains or local residential or local retail stores, because one of the other hats I wear is I'm on the board for Chalk's corporate outreach program, and they're looking to align themselves with retail stores or restaurants where you can round up when you're checking out for your coffee or your retail item, round up to charity or put a donation in. Why not do that to Chalk? And I have a few sticks in the fire already, but I'd love more. So we should all be giving back more, and that's what I'm trying to do. So thank you very much. If we haven't met, let's do coffee and lunch because I like to do that. Joe, I'm coming for you. I don't know you yet, so I'll make sure we connect.
He's dropping
My microphone. I'm not giving it away. Jamie's my longtime good friend and guest.
Hey, thanks a lot. I'm happy to be here. I came from Microsoft. I work for a partner of Microsoft now. So, and I have a pretty good outreach of what I want to do with my consulting business, mostly about AI and migrations from Azure to Azure. And also a lot of the things that Jason and I are talking about as kind of a co-partner opportunity. So it's amazing what you do, and I want to be a part of it. And first and foremost, build relationships first, and the rest will follow. I think that's really important. And I see a lot of great people here. And I have, over the last few weeks, I've been at different events. So I'm happy to be here. Nice to meet you all.
Hello, everyone. My name is Danny Nguyen. Thank you to Fred. I'm here, joined this week. I'm with Eco. We are a startup. These are some long friends that I worked for in the past that asked me to join. I left Microsoft in March. All right. Eco is the business-friendly data reporting and analytics solution. So think of it as the alternate to Microsoft Fabric for all your data. We believe that the ERP system is the core to your business. So what we've done, and we started in the Oracle ERP space, is build intelligence that when you plug it in, it would automatically transform the data without having to build scripts, ETLs, and whatnot. We just completed the project for Epicor ERP, and we're going to find new path. Any popular package like Dynamics, we will want to read the dictionary, build the analytics where you plug it in and it works right away. So the business-friendly data reporting analytics solution, and I'm here as well. Thank you, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Manish with Think AI, and I do have a new software called Amy, and this is more a AI-based project management. So excited about that. This is on Microsoft Marketplace, also going to be on Zoom Marketplace. So that's pretty good. And I had one more thing which I forgot, so that's fine.
That's why you need your AI.
The book. Yeah.
My name is Fred Babai. I'm a partner chair here at IAMCP, and my business is B2B sales accelerator. So I make meaningful introduction between partners, and from there we go to market and try to scale and grow the business. So if anyone here is looking to grow and scale in terms of connecting partners and making things to go to market, I'm here to help. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Danny Numa. Brian and I worked together at Strategic Systems Group, a Dynamics partner, for about, well, for me it was 10 years. Brian is almost 35. And then the business was acquired last year, so Brian can go do fun things, but I still have to work for a living. So I was a Dynamics 365 Business Central project manager, and working with Jason to kind of get this IAMCP SoCal job search group and mentoring program going. So looking forward to meeting with you. Oh, and then I signed up for $1 last night, so I don't get to wear the red badge anymore. I get the blue badge for the first time. So
Hi, everyone. My name is Ro Kolakowski. I'm with a company called Sixth Street Consulting. We specialize in SharePoint and Teams, a lot of automation work around that right now. For the holidays, I'm going to focus on basically trying to not travel and focus on my hobbies, which are planting flowers, flying, and choking people out.
I do have a question. I thought you were looking for bookstores. What happened to that hobby? You guys know any bookstores? Ro loves those. Hi, I'm Jared Bear. I don't know, been in the chapter 8 years now. My company is Broad Bear. We do mostly infrastructure for cabling, access control, Teams rooms, Zoom room. I don't know, all kinds of fun stuff. For the chapter, also on the chair, co-chair for learning. And I don't know if we're doing anything interesting. My wife keeps asking, what are we doing for the holidays? Don't know yet.
Hi, everybody. Ron, Tech Pro. We specialize in media entertainment. We do security solutions, manufacturing as well. I can attest to Fred loving lunch. I threw out the question, are we doing lunch today? I said, yes, I'm by you. And 30 minutes later, he was by me and we did lunch. So for the holiday, probably go to Washington State, looking for investment opportunities over there.
I think Ashok reminded me that we have some people that are joined remotely. So if I'm not mistaken, I see David Levier's name's plastered all over the place. So David, go ahead, come off mute and show yourself.
Going on. Hi, everybody. David Levier with Crush Networks. Thanks for having me in. We specialize in SharePoint, OneDrive, Teams, Modern Workplace. I have no idea if you guys can hear me or not. Just wave, Brian, if you can. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, perfect. And yeah, for the holidays, we will be staying around Manhattan Beach and just got back from Boston visiting my daughter and new son-in-law. So back to you, Brian. Great to see you all.
Thank you, David. Good to see you as well.
Is that the son-in-law?
We have one more. Richard Russell, are you there? Right. Okay, Richard, you had your chance. Sorry. Okay, so where are we now in our agenda? All right, very good. All right, so I think we need to get our audience back. So maybe we should wait for a little bit and see if we can get Mario's a presenter, right? So we need Mario and we need Manish.
They'd be there testing out.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, shoot. Oh, today. I haven't checked my email since I left at like 11. Yeah. I did that flyer. Yeah, a little tiny bit. Yeah, I'm going to check. Okay, use that. Okay, cool.
I think they have 2 intros left and then they'll be.
Here. Oh, separate organization.
Same owner or no?
Yeah, there's a.
All right.
Okay.
Dotted line.
Video founder.
Here it is.
But.
I didn't know if you came again.
I've been in that game for a long time. It's very nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's cool. You're talking about Great Plains before. It was a Microsoft product. It was, on
Yeah.
Brian's desk upstairs. He had CVs when I was a kid.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. So he's been, oh, look at this as a P&L, ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Did you formally major like accounting?
no, I was at UCLA. I was a poli-sci major. I thought about going to law school.
Okay.
Yeah, and then just got into tech and never looked back.
Now, is the
so.
business selling BC?
Yeah, we were a BC implementer. Yeah,
Okay.
so I just did my first implementation last year for Scandinavian Designs. They're a retail furniture company.
yeah,
They got like
of
stores
course.
around here and stuff. Yeah, so they got like 50 stores in 20 states. Or
Yeah,
so.
you
Headquartered in Boise. So
Does BC the picture?
APGL last year.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, wow.
in Boise.
Find them and go out there.
I didn't have to go, but we enjoyed the views from the Zoom meetings. So
Yeah.
they have the that nice snow in the background from their
Yeah.
office. Like, oh, the winter wonderland.
Are they using it just GL and AP?
They were going to move their sales over in the next phase.
Okay,
But they basically
got it.
had all these
Got it.
legacy POS systems kind of
Yeah.
custom built, and they had to figure out how to integrate
So,
that
I
to
don't know
get
what's
that
up
into their
with
AR and sale.
Yeah.
So we did the easy part first, and then we
Cannot
were going to
get
that next.
Yeah.
So you can't.
How, the company again is
Strategic.
Strategic.
Yeah, and then I was sold to Graybox Solutions last year. So
Okay.
Graybox is a bigger partner out of the Boston area.
Okay, are they
So they
just
have-
BC or are they?
They have everything. They got cybersecurity, they got
That's
MSP, they got, so they basically, took some of the consultants and the clients,
Okay.
went to their BC.
Yeah. Where do you?
I'm in Torrance.
You're in Torrance. That was that.
Yeah. My house is about 10 minutes from here.
No, if you had our meeting yesterday. We'll have to talk about it. I didn't know you were gonna be here. Oh, Taylor?
I work.
What's the same? No. Okay, yeah. Well, I'll learn you.
Yeah, they, funny BC, they just announced 40,000. I do blogs on this thing. Thank you.
Say goodbye.
Oh, you want to work out? That's this weekend that they have.
Oh, I understand.
So, but they've been around for 10 years.
That's right, yeah.
It's a big opportunity. It's only, and financial customers that are gonna migrate over the next couple of years. By more time. 10,000 customers. We have to win over because, that street's gonna want to get out of.
I'll email you and I'll give you the details.
See you.
Oh, good to see you. It's been a little while.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, happy to be here. So you were a past president?
I was president.
David's asking if the perk into the same secret differently.
I can check.
Okay.
Let me see.
And then.
All right, team, whenever we're ready, we're going to get started for you.
Justin was the original founder in 2009.
Okay.
Justin was, so that's why we just celebrated our 8th anniversary.
Good friend of mine.
Yeah, you guys, a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now kind of doing similar things in different communities.
Kind of competitor.
Now,
Yeah.
So we do the same thing with the systems.
So I'm like, but I will let her know.
We should talk about this. We're trying to get into the dynamic space.
All that rough.
It's a.
Team.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, we're ready to get started. You take your seats, please.
Of course.
I got the picture. Oh, you got the picture? Yeah.
Yeah. Take it.
Can you show
Should be great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Let's do that.
Somebody's hand is up. David, what's up, David? Chat.
Yeah, I heard there was a presentation taking place. I thought at 2:00. Is that like a partner presentation or something, or is that this right now that you're leaning into?
Yeah, 2:30 to 4:30.
Is it going to be at the same Teams address?
It's a different link.
different link?
It was a
Okay.
different registration.
Okay, if someone can throw it in the chat, I'd appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Okay, we'll let you know.
All right, team. So without further ado, Manish and I volunteered to come back and present to you our Ignite recap. Both of us were there. It was an exciting time. And so I'd love to go ahead and share how it went, what we did. Obviously, there's a ton of information to download. I don't know, has anybody here ever been to a Microsoft Ignite? Yeah? A little bit of information, a lot of bit of information? Exactly. All right, perfect. So we're just going to try to bring you some snippets, maybe here at the end if we have time, or if you want to share any of the sessions that you saw, or just some of your favorite things coming down the pipe. Certainly, we could bring those up. So Manish, if you don't mind going to the next slide. And so we wanted to bring a special guest, and we send out the invite, and unfortunately Satya couldn't be here. And so we got second best. And so we have Sriracha Nutella. Please make an appearance.
Welcome, everyone. I'm here to talk to you a little bit on Copilot. Copilot is not a tool. It's your AI companion. And on behalf of Microsoft, I want to thank all our IAMCP SoCal members to support Microsoft mission on empowering every person, every organization on the planet to achieve more. Thank you. So that's me here taking picture of Satya, who looks like me. Thank you. Let's move on now. Mario.
Thank you. So did anybody here watch the keynote? Well, what really stood out to you? And obviously he said a lot, he spoke for an hour, but there was a common theme throughout this entire keynote. What was that to you?
Agents, AI, Copilot, Copilot,
Yeah.
Studio,
Copilot,
security.
Copilot, agents. Yep, security. And so that's really what I heard is Copilot, security, and AI, and how that's infused into everything, right? And so it was not surprising, but at the same time, it was almost like that gut check where you're like, oh, how are we keeping up, right? And so, and in fact, if you want to go to the next slide there for me, Manish, it's actually the compute is out training and performing every 6 months. And so like it's superseding its own goals and its own metrics, right? And so, which again is exciting, especially for us who are in technology, for us who are going to try to understand it and use it to our advantages. I don't know how many of you here use Copilot and ChatGPT and whatever else is your flavor. But it brings us to the next point that he brought up, which is security. And the essence to try to keep up with the speed of AI, there's a lot of things that Microsoft is trying to make us feel more comfortable with the things that they're building. For example, the visibility with Microsoft Preview, where what data is actually going to be accessible, right? We don't want whatever model is being looked at, whatever age is being pulled up, what information is that Copilot bringing out? We don't want someone to pull your social or your paycheck or any of those things. So again, this was a big emphasis by Satya. The next one. And then zero trust principles, just making sure that you're authenticating.
Yeah.
Right. So the importance of ensuring that these are at the speed in which AI is growing. They also talked about some productivity apps with iOS and Android that are now going to be unlocked with what's coming up. And if you go to the next slide, that also includes some additional security for mobile. Right. So I think a lot of us here could attest. I mean, you see me here, I have my notes. You take your notes on your phone, you're taking meetings from your phone, you're on the go, you're opening up your documents, your Excels. Some of us are using Copilot on our phones. And so we're trying to keep up here, or at least Microsoft is. Manish, your favorite topic?
Okay, so there were a lot of talk on the Copilot, AI, and but at least just to summarize things, there were three major announcements on the Copilot. One is the Copilot itself. There are devices working with Copilot, and then there is a Copilot and AI stack, because Copilot, they are saying as a Copilot is the UI. So your interface to AI is the chat or the Copilot interface, and rest of the things go behind that. Good depiction here, the big ecosystem coming up on the bottom, Copilot control system, the UI and the whole studio to integrate various systems, and then many agents working behind the scene. And this is end-to-end on the Copilot. So yeah, all the automation and all will happen in the Copilot ecosystem. The new things are Copilot action and agents. What it allows is it's giving you more insights, and then there are more agents, and I'll show you on that. So what are agents? Agents are project management agents. So the tool called Project Online will now provide meeting summary. It can create schedule, follow-up, and everything for you. I don't know the release date on that. Self-service agent for the, I think it's more for the MSPs. I think it will be more applicable on that, where you can find the issues with your Wi-Fi or the device or the network, and you can do self-service. SharePoint is a new one as well. And then interpreter agent, which gets deployed on Teams. Now it's talking in one language, and right away the transcription coming in second. So those were some examples they had shown us. I don't have the video on that, but as you can see, you go online and check that. More talk on Copilot analysis, analytics. So more behind the scene details on the Copilot, what is deployed in your system. I'm talking more of Microsoft 365 Copilot here. Copilot devices. Yeah, over to you, Mario.
Yeah, before I go into the devices, does everyone kind of understand that, like, the agents?
I was trying to figure out an agent versus a co-pilot versus a bot versus.
Yeah, so we had an internal conversation at TPM and kind of really trying to understand it. And the way it was explained is the co-pilot agents kind of gives you more of a narrow look at the information that you wanted to look at. So you could pull in these agents versus having the entire co-pilot. These agents, if you want to narrow down how your chatbot is working, you could add different agents to look at specific
Like a
information.
specialization
Pretty
of
much,
their
yeah.
focus. Okay.
So the focus. Yeah, and so I thought that was really interesting. We're already doing some of those things, at least internally. So Copilot devices, thought it was pretty interesting with the Windows 365 link. There's also some other hardware that's come out, and it's all to try to figure out the hybrid workstation, right? Like, it's ready out of the box. It comes in with built-in security, and I personally wasn't like super excited about it, but there were certainly a lot of people that were. I don't know, again, how much of this you've seen of this specific device, but again, it's going to give you less admin, out of the box security, some of the security features, and ready for
Ready for use.
Yeah, virtual device. Thank you.
Yeah, these are like more like a thin terminals. Like in the past days, you just buy and it's ready to use. You don't have OS, or the biggest thing is no storage, no local storage. So these are pretty secure for your and outside workers. And we have a little video on that. Let's hope the audio works here.
Oh, you know what? Maybe if I share the.
I need to sing here. No worries, just have a look. Yeah. Satya is not good in singing. Otherwise, I would practice that. So just read a couple of messages. What it's saying, it's no OS or no local storage. So you log in, everything you work on the cloud, very secure Copilot ready, and you just plug and play. And as you disconnect from the internet or the login session, the data is fully secure. Very, very useful for the consulting environment or the workforce where you want data to be on the cloud, not in devices, because that's one of the major issue, right? So that one was that. Hold on, we need to go to the next slide. Come on.
Is it available now?
It's coming up. No, not yet. Yeah.
It's the holiday.
349. Hey, Mario, just Ashley gets ready. So I was thinking that this would be great for companies that have obviously all the remote force.
Yes, exactly.
Send them their device and here's your ID and password.
FedEx the device, they have your environment and then bring it back, and no need of worrying about loss.
Cheaper than a laptop for sure.
Yes, yes. Cheaper.
So just kind of fly through these. They're certainly looking to bring that quantum computing, and so having that hardware ready, poised to solve all sorts of challenges. But I think the continued underlining here is keeping up with AI, making sure as much of it could be cloud efficient. And so there's actually some additional partnerships that I think if you go to the next slide with, I wasn't really sure about this slide actually. So I know it talks about Windows resiliency, but.
Yeah, I think they are trying to say is from the Intune, you can do the hot patch, so more controlled deployment of the security updates. And then they're having their own devices now, their own chip.
Yeah, so the continued partnership with NVIDIA, and you'll see this throughout. I think it's been kind of the common theme. I know last year it was as well, but it's just for continued scalable AI infrastructure. And you'll see this is again something that was discussed by Satya quite a bit. And even on the next slide, where there's something that's being exclusively for Azure and supercomputing platform. So if in Satya's keynote, the message was Copilot AI security, and you'll see this in later slides, but there's a lot of infrastructure now being put in place, so we're able to keep up with essentially our own AI technology, right? So there is not only from chip base, but to local servers, to how security is being run. Like there's just this is the theme, but again, pretty exciting stuff.
So NVIDIA was the platinum partner, and right there was AMD sponsoring the big party there. So they were mention of NVIDIA and AMD right back to back, but Microsoft is doing their own chip also, not to fully depend on the external vendor. So the third pillar, when they said Copilot, is the AI UI. So on the back end, you need a lot of things for developers. So that's where 4 things were discussed: developer tools, services. Azure AI Foundry is a new tool, which is nothing but Azure AI Studio. Those who have touched on this, there is a lot of things on data and infrastructure. So the ask is no more API. Yes, there is API, but now it's more agent to agent talk. So agentic development is what the focus. So one agent, one AI will talk to other AI. So that's the future. That's where we're going. That's where we are talking, right? Personal agents, organizational agents, business process agents, and then cross-org agents, so agent to agent talk. So in the past, it was API to API talk. Now it's agent to agent talk. And for that, they have the new studio called AI Foundry, which was before Azure AI Studio. It's a little complicated here, but you can see, it's giving you all the customization and governance on the bottom. On the top, you have models, and there are many models: industry model, task model, open source model. on the left, it's all development studio, and then all the services in the middle layer. So this is a big push from Microsoft, because if I go to the AI Foundry, now there are 200 different AI models. So models are like OpenAI, right? ChatGPT is based on OpenAI, but then Facebook also has Llama, so that's available, and more of the models are coming. So that's where Microsoft is able to control that the hosting environment or development environment on cloud as well as on Azure. So there are more of Azure AI agent service. So they are doing the wrapper on many of these models and services so that you don't have to keep changing your code. Again, multiple models, right? Some models are listed here. We are not, even I'm not familiar with those. You may be familiar, but more and more models are coming up. So what is Fabric? Fabric is all the data behind your enterprise. So enterprise has a lot of data, and your AI will tap to that. Copilot will tap to that. And this is the tool which will bring it in one area. So example is think like one lake. So all the data gets dumped into one lake, and then from here, AI will be able to tap to real insights. So there is multiple paths to get to AI, but Microsoft was big on the SQL Server, but SQL is just one environment. Now what they're trying to do is SQL plus the whole cloud data. Can you bring it to the Microsoft Fabric? Yeah, so analytical data and operational both coming together, which is a concept in databases. So that's what they're trying to address with the Fabric. Okay, Mario, over to you on infrastructure.
Yeah, so I alluded to this earlier, and like I was trying to watch some of the sessions on the infrastructure, and I quickly forward past it. I just sped it up because it gets very convoluted, right? So the same message here stands. So Azure's local delivery secure. They are preparing for the scalability of what's happening with AI and different diverse and deployment needs.
Yeah, local AI is the ask from the industry. So that's what they are trying to come up with, this Azure local.
And then several centralized governance for hubs, projects, and subscription controls. So again, this is all the investment that Microsoft is putting in for infrastructure.
Final slide.
Yeah, so again, it continues to be on the same theme, and this falls on the theme of security, where there's how are the targets and mitigations of those targets being handled by Microsoft, right? And so that infrastructure is also being.
Yeah, the industry ask is how are we gonna govern AI, comply with the policies? So that's where they're providing all these tools. And that's all we wanted to cover.
So, it's one thing to watch these things on YouTube. It's another thing to be there in front of the guy, right? What was your, and this is for both of you, because I like to hear Manish's take too. What was your sentiment as you were listening to this guy talking about this wave that we're all living in, and it changed the world, really? I mean, NVIDIA said it's AI heard around the world, right? So the AI economy was built out of that, and now we're going through that, and all of us can capitalize on that. But what was your sentiment as you were in that room?
No, I think I remember definitely talking to Ashley about this, and even my coworkers, where it's like, it's really, really exciting. But I feel like there's also this element of the unknown, and it's a little fearful. Like, some of these bots that are being built, are they taking the jobs? Are they, how much acceleration are we able to keep up with, right? Because we know that AI is learning. But I think overall it is exciting that the partners, and I really feel this, that the Microsoft partners that are getting ahead of these things and learning about these essentially sales plays by Microsoft are going to benefit from it.
I guess what I wanted to say, the big push is on AI. It's all about AI. And then if I talk to customer, they are also needing more guidance. So of course, Google and Amazon and Microsoft all going after big customer. The good news is OpenAI is with only Microsoft, not on Amazon or Google. So we as a partner have a big opportunity to first educate all our
Big
customers.
advantage. Yeah.
Yes, big advantage and big leg up, because we can tell to customer that, hey, you like ChatGPT, let's implement that in your organization. A lot of them are doing Copilot, but then we just need to be right there with customer, because as soon as they become dissatisfied or they are needing some help, that's where our opportunity is to do more on Copilot extension, or even like, give them some new tools. So
Like about the competitive advantage we
yes,
have
it's a big one.
guys because of OpenAI.
Yes.
The investment with Microsoft and OpenAI. That
Yeah.
relationship.
And everybody is confused because, even me being in me being in AI, I need to learn so much. Then just think about who is not. So we have at least the whole 2025 can be about partnering, educating with to our customer and closing deals.
I think for me, jumping on right away with like ChatGPT a year ago and starting to get savvy with it. And then it wasn't for 6 months until people started talking about everybody that dumped all of this information, proprietary things, personal things into something that didn't have the enterprise features that Copilot does now have and the security pieces. What's next, and how does Microsoft kind of talk to something that's scaling behind, like higher than we are able to keep up with? Like, how do you rein that in to know to put governance in place for something that's moving faster than we're able to move? I don't know.
Governance is on top of their mind. Enterprise AI is on top of everybody's mind. People want AI, but then everybody knows that, oh, let's not go to public AI. Let's implement our own. So all the big big organization, small also are very clear that we need to do our own. So that's a good opportunity, but we do need more compliance and security partners to go hand in hand with us.
Seems like that should be moving almost faster.
We see a lot of companies doing private agents, private
Yeah,
bots.
yeah.
But the biggest kind of trend now as companies move into
Yes.
Copilot and how they want to generate the agents and how they interact with the agents.
Yeah, I guess right now just doing private agent, one single agent is enough, because that itself is a big change for everybody and it's costly. So, people are saying, because ChatGPT was free, everybody still expect everything to be free. So there is a bigger shock, but things are changing fast. So you have to keep up. Businesses has to keep up. Okay.
And real quick, I just want to say though, because if you're using Microsoft 365 Copilot, then it could be used, super efficiently for productivity too, right? So I think you talked about how you got ahead of it and, maybe what you're using it for, there's already the mechanisms built in, right? So I know, for example, like I'm not a wizard with Excel, but I forget what session I was in and I saw them demonstrating Copilot with Excel. I was starting to build pivot tables and charts and insights and exporting data from my CRM and having it all do it for me within Copilot and Excel. And I was literally in the session just being blown away that I could do it so fast, so efficiently. So I think depending on how you're using your Copilots, might already be built in with you.
I'd say two things stood out to me. One, you said it, that they're positioning Copilot as the UI for AI. And so as a partner, I think the other thing that stood out is that there's going to be first party agents, and they announced 10, mostly around Dynamics, all the Dynamics agents. And then they're talking about third party agents, which are partner built agents. And that strategy isn't clear. And the insights I'm getting is that they're still trying to figure out the partner play in the agent development. That is catching my attention. And how do partners play and how do we monetize it? I think will
I'm out. Good point, guys. Okay.
Premature. It's like, yeah, it's premature.
If Michelle could advance to the survey slide. Thank you. Okay, if you don't mind, can you spend a little bit of time going to this survey? As Ashley mentioned earlier, we do pay attention to these things, and we've made some, connections and so forth as a result. So take a few minutes to go and fill out the survey, and we take your feedback seriously. In the meantime, I'm going to pass out playing cards. So bear with me. You should each receive a card numbered from the ace to the 8, and I will explain a little bit later what to do with those cards after the survey. So please spend some time on the survey.
Thank you.
Can someone please provide the link to that survey in the chat, please?
It's on the screen.
It's on the screen.
The QR code on the screen.
Like, there's a link on the screen.
Okay, so I am seeing the presentation. That's fine. I'll type it in here for other people connected. There's 7 others, so I'll do that.
Fish.
He said just get a card for him. Got a meeting. No answer. Yes, fire. So suppose I have access to it. And you don't learn it.
Also, I forgot to mention that there's a little bit of incentive to fill out the survey because Ice Adams was the keeper of the Starbucks gift cards. So we'll have a drawing for one of those.
Open the survey.
Yeah.
I started a mentoring program and job search before for the organization. So some of us have been meeting bi-weekly and arranged like different people to provide education and things like that. So yeah. Yeah, just trying to help people find their next opportunity.
Steve Tanner refers to this as the Wheel of Wow. So we'll have all of the folks who had submitted a submission for the survey put it into the wheel, and we'll end up choosing a winner shortly. Okay, so in the meantime, I will explain a little bit about those playing cards. That the playing cards is just a mechanism to divide the group of people into small teams. From way back, we had these things called the meetings between the meetings, right? So Ro Kolakowski is an advocate, Eric Klaus, an advocate of these meetings between the meetings. So we're only here for a little while, and we have a chance to say hello and goodbye and maybe exchange business cards, and that's about it. However, if you have a chance between the meetings to schedule a small coffee or lunch or something like that, it is much more interesting. You have a chance to talk in more depth about what you're working on and kinds of things you might need for help. Ro Kolakowski is a proponent of sometimes not even talking about business and just talk about bookstores or flying or how to choke somebody out.
Or a board meeting.
Okay, or board meeting. Oh, very good. Yes. Ro's version of a board meeting is quite different from ours. Right. So very good. So the idea is we'll go and finish our, oh, very good. Finish our Wheel of Wow, and then I'll explain what to do with the playing cards that I passed down.
No sound?
Oh, yeah. That's the main one.
Hey, Fred. Okay, really good, Fred. Can I hear from him?
You take a picture? Better late than that.
As long as you don't walk in for the raffle card or raffle prize.
Another event. I didn't know I needed to sit on one survey.
I forget it's social for tax purposes.
You know. That's the, yeah. We're gonna 1099 them or? I feel like we should.
Take a photo of the next. IAMCP website.
Right. I see, I didn't know, I was scanning a QR code.
Did you get a playing card?
What? No. I was getting members on the front door.
Oh, good for you.
Great.
Great
member. Good for you.
Twisting arms and taking something like that. I'm not sign up. Oh, awesome. We're looking forward to it.
Good. All right, very good. Okay, so the playing cards are just a mechanism to break you into groups. And whoever has the ace, could you raise your hand? And what I'd like you to do is to set up a time to speak with the people who have